The separate self is just the self that feels himself separate from the unity. And the separate self doesn't really exist. It's just an activity of desiring, of resisting, of seeking, of looking into the past, seeking the future, of being anxious, of feeling lack. Is not actually a self, but these activities of the mind that we call the separate self is
Mhm.
constantly looking for answers. How do I solve this problem? How do I get myself out of this situation? And in this whole struggle comes to an end where the separate self fails because the separate self has to fail. But now you've hit a beautiful place because now what you're realizing is with this separate self, I cannot overcome this. It just doesn't because the separate self has to fail, right? But at the point of failure is where we can surrender to to the divine within us and talk to the divine and pray to the divine and ask the divine to take over our life. Like we are not here to be anxious. We can cast our worries and anxieties onto the Lord, onto God within us. It's not for us to carry. It's not for us to solve these problems. There is an inner intelligence that is much more powerful than you, which is your true self. If you
Mm.
give that your power, your attention, you surrender yourself to that power comes online. And it's not really for you to figure it all out. I just want to encourage you that it's a beautiful place to fail because the one who fails is not the true self. The true self is always victorious. The one who fails is the separate self. But that's a
Mhm.
good place when you know it's failed because yeah, by
That's
by
it. You
my
can't.
power I can do nothing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Because it's the mind. The mind always wants to know stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's always looking and this that, and the other.
Yeah.
It just wants to know stuff. It's just fucking wants to
Yeah.
know knowledge, doesn't it?
Here right now to surrender. And man,
Exactly.
like last week I had a difficult time too. And I realized that, I'm not going to solve anything by myself. And this is out of my control. And in fact, the thing human does is try to control.
Yeah.
And sometimes life is just the way it is. We just gotta be in a surrendered state to life, whatever life gives us.
Yeah.
And that's why a great teacher of mine said meditation means saying yes to all experience. Whatever happens to you, yes, 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 yes. There is no no. As soon as you say no, you're in resistance. Whatever happens to
Mm.
you, as soon as you say yes, that's like the highest prayer you can say to God. I'm grateful and saying yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And I just want to add something to what you said earlier that may help you illuminate the problem. You were saying much earlier that you're giving a lot of your attention to your healing, and that's beautiful, but you also feel like you may be giving too much of your attention to your healing. And it's actually true. Like, I really think your time it's no mathematical formula, but your time is good if it's divided into you focusing your attention on your body mind, the tuning of the body mind, just tuning it, making sure it is balanced. So the healing process is just balancing the body mind. But even maybe more importantly is to go to your being, right? To this loving presence that is within you, because that is who you are on a deeper self.
Mhm.
And you can come back in between this being, this loving being that is already perfect, doesn't need to be healed, to then going to the body mind and healing the body mind. But as you're going back and forth between the body mind and your permanent, perfect self, loving self, what you realize is that you can bring the light of this perfection, the light of this victory when you go into the being, you can bring it out to your body mind. You can shine the light of being energetically by going to the being aware in this place of stillness, peace, and love. Then when you come to the body mind, like you come to a thought, because the mind is just thoughts. Okay, you have a thought that's negative. As soon as you bring loving presence to that thought, you're bringing that light of yourself to your mind. Same with the body, as Adam was saying. If you have a pain in the body, and you bring your loving presence, which is your true nature, to that pain, you are bringing your light of the divine to that pain. In fact, this is the whole purpose of life, is to be in pain so we can shine our light on the pain. And the reason is the glory, is that we demonstrate to everyone, to ourselves and to the people around us, about the power that is within us. So this God power can express itself through us, bringing our light to a pain or to our body. And then when you see that you can do that, your faith goes up. Your recognition of your inner intelligence goes up. And then other people seeing you, it's like Merv he's different. What's different about him? And they want to know as well. So that's actually like, we are here to be broken so that we can use our inner light, discover it, discover our power, that we are the creator, that we can heal ourselves and the world around us. Yeah, and yeah, we are in collaboration with God. That's beautiful, no? Like, that's what we're here for. So every opportunity of pain, trauma is an opportunity to bring God. And in fact, it's not your responsibility to fix anything. God says, give me all of your cares, all of your worries, cast all of your anxieties onto me. I will look after you. So at this place of desperation, when you're completely desperate, you call unto God, you call unto the divine within yourself.
Mm.
That's a really beautiful place. You're not far away from from feeling and being with this light, because you know everything has failed. There's nothing you can do that doesn't fail. You, the separate self, but you, true self, your true light of being, is already victorious.
Mm.
As
So I was sitting with that, what you were saying. I had no
Yeah.
response to that because I didn't need to. Just
mm,
inwardly, just like, you know, you got a bit thingy there just then though. Just like, it's okay. I've been trying so hard to figure out to go into my heart chakra, from going that way. But then the way you just explained it, then it was like, well, I don't necessarily need to. Well, I do, but I mean, like, with experiencing well, getting too much to the healing side of it. Like, well, you don't need to just stand it over.
Exact complete surrender, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
just so so I've been focusing on kind of. I'm not I'm not angry with myself, but I've been focusing too much on it. But when I was like, well, hang on a minute, you don't necessarily need to, because that it's like, because we are our divine, we are spirit. Uh, so, so they know how to do it more than we do. So we could just hand it over.
Exactly. And in
So
fact,
it's so
that's what,
simple.
yeah.
So if they've been rattling me, uh, right.
Merv, if I ask you a quick contemplation exercise, if you close your eyes right now, just for a moment, and just become aware of the space around you. Just become aware of the sounds around you, what you hear. And now don't be aware of anything particular like a sound or the space. Just become aware of awareness. What does it feel like?
A bit. Whoa, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
If you're aware of awareness, there is no focus, right? You're not focusing.
All I felt was just a tingle. Is that right or not?
There's no
Am I thinking something totally?
there's
I was trying to focus in, and all
yeah,
I felt was like,
there's no
all
right
this.
or there's no right or wrong answer. But if you check in again, if you close your eyes and check in, just be
I had
gently.
to bring myself out of it. It felt a bit like, I didn't know what it felt mint, but and I felt like my arms, my legs,
Mhm.
just vibrating, tingling like mad.
Okay, maybe that's just speaking some truth to you. But if you go back again to that experience,
Okay, all right,
okay,
all
if you
right.
go back again, I just want to show you how what surrender is like in practice. It's much easier than going to the heart chakra because because
Okay,
when you're
okay.
trying to go to the heart, you bring in a focus. But right now, I'm not asking you to focus.
Just do
I'm just
yes.
asking you now to be aware of not anything around you, any sound. Just be simply aware of the fact of awareness. So imagine the space around you, the physical space, be aware of the space. And that awareness is like this larger space that is all around. Just be aware of this awareness, this field of awareness. And the experience of it is this expansiveness, stillness. It's not moving, is it? It's still. It's not agitated. So when we surrender, all we're doing is we are going to this awareness of awareness state. Because when you go to the being aware of being aware, you're not focusing, you're not struggling, you're not looking to find, you're not searching, you're just being. From this place of being, how does it feel, Merv? If you're just being aware of awareness, there's no need to focus on anything. How does it feel like?
Yeah, first time round, just to quickly interject, first time round, I felt something. Maybe it wasn't being the feeling of aware of awareness. Something else happened,
Okay.
but the actual, I'm still focusing.
Mm-hmm.
Still focusing. I'm not going to pick up the second time round, I suppose. Particularly the first time round wasn't me feeling the awareness. It was something else happened. There was a tingling.
Uh-huh.
Second time round, um, I've got the Kaiser Chiefs playing in my head.
If
Is it the Kaiser? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Never been this far away from home. Is that Kaiser Chiefs? Sorry, this is so
nice.
what the fuck does? Uh, stop me.
You, you
Uh,
know, you know, Merv, this activity you're saying that you're trying to solve, you're trying to find solutions and it's failing, it's the same activity of you trying to find this awareness. You're trying to find it as if it's not already here. But right now you're aware, aren't you? So it's present. So it doesn't require focus. In fact, it requires a turning off of focus. You're not looking, you're not searching. You're just seeing it. You're just aware of it. It doesn't need any steps. It's a
like
direct.
my brain's saying this is too much to process right now. What the fuck's going on? Just
The, I was
Let me
wondering
just
from
compose
a
myself. Let me just compose myself. Jeez. Um,
okay.
Just breathe with it.
hmm.
This presence that is all around you right now, that is aware of your hands, aware of your body, is always present, isn't it?
That is always present, yes, because I'm actually aware of fucking everything, like everything, all the time,
Yeah.
like totally just 360.
So if you shift your
Like the bird, like I mentioned the birds
Mhm,
before, you
mhm.
know,
If you
like
shift your focus from what you are aware of to just awareness. So you turn off the focus. You're not focusing on
right.
objects, on the birds. You're relaxing the eyes, you're relaxing the focus, and you're just aware of this space of awareness.
This is where that's probably where it's confusing me.
It's hard to find it. Maybe that's where you're confused. It's not an object to find. It's a
No, I know. It's just
yeah.
a. Oh my God, I'm sure. Yeah, it's
If you try to understand it, you won't understand it because it's not an
no,
intellectual.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I know. You know, we're not meant to understand it, are we?
it's meant to be
But
experienced. But I
yes,
was
it's not
trying
meant to. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
trying to show you that when you surrender, it's not about an activity that you do.
right,
You're not doing anything. You're just being.
right.
You're just being. If I ask you right now, Merv, can you be? Can you just be? Don't think. Don't try to figure out. Don't focus. Just be. And the feeling of being, how does it feel like? Before it's colored by thoughts and feeling and sensation and perception. Before all of that, if you ask yourself the question, what am I before my thoughts? What am I before my feelings? What am I before my personality? What is the I? It's the only thing it can be I is awareness. And this awareness is always in this stillness. Is you were aware of your experience 5 years ago with the same awareness you're aware of your experience now. The awareness didn't change. And when you come to this experience of just being aware, yeah, there's no struggle. There's no pushing, forcing, looking, searching. There's just sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. You're sinking down and you're letting go of control. You're letting go of seeking, and you come to this sacred place of your I am, which is this pure emptiness, pure stillness. And when you surrender, is the easiest way to surrender is just to go straight to just being. There's nothing you have to do, nowhere you have to go, no place you have to be, nothing you have to find. Just where you are right now.
I'm laughing, but it's, I'm not laughing at you. Please, Ali, don't think
No, no,
that.
no, 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 no. I'm with you. Don't worry. I'm
It's
completely
just
with you.
because I just figured it out what you were meaning. Yeah,
Mhm.
not the obviously not the I am presence. What that sinking, maybe that's where the tingling come from the first time round. Because I felt like a weird, like I was kind of going into the chair, and that's why I probably had to stop myself. And that's what I wasn't sure what I was doing. Yeah, so that's probably what I was trying to do.
If I told you now, Merv, there's nothing you have to do. There's nowhere you have to go.
Just be.
Just be right now, present. And you don't even need to focus on my conversation. Just be.
There's
Yeah.
something that might be a nice little interweave to helping you with this state subtly, knowing that you're a highly empathic person. One way that I first started to experiment with this was when I started to do the what I would call like the body scan process, because it switches the mind. Because one of the biggest struggles that I feel like you've kind of self-advocated that you're having is your mind will be thinking of stuff going on. What does this mean?
Yeah.
What's going on? Your brain's getting, and when you are the one notch down from awareness, or kind of it blurs with it, is when we're able to feel ourselves and feel our environment as if we're reaching our feelings out, and we can feel the cabinet, we can feel the floor, and the mind is still fractionally active in the act of feeling out, but it really, the act of being able to focus on feeling gives the brain just enough small simple stimuli to feel like it's not going to try to like take over. And so just feeling, what does the floor feel like? What do my fingers feel like? And you're just doing it, what does it feel like, without judgment? You're just feeling around. And you're being present with feel state quite often. And and what that does inadvertently is practice. It helps us to practice being in a state of pure presence. You're just feeling this moment. And then that moment eventually switches off to, when we do it enough and we're just aware of our environment on a feeling level, as if we're sending our feelings out. It's something that, from an empathic point of view, is easy to do. Like, what is it? Stretch your feelings out to the room. Feel the room. Feel it. And then when you're in that state of feeling, it's almost impossible to try to, it's one of the psychological trick. It's impossible to feel and think at the exact same time. And so constantly just sending your feelings out to just feel the room and just be aware of the feeling of the room. And that's when we get to being aware of a feeling, then can nudge us just that little bit up to being aware of that awareness when we've got used to it. Right? But I'm using your skill, Merv, with being a deeply empathic person to just feel first. Might help you to switch your mind off to get to that state. And you can even do that to just doing a body scan around your body. What does my bone feel like? You know, just feel it. Don't judge it, just feel it. And even if that is you observing little tingles that ripple through your body, just observe it with no judgment. Just feel it. And there's that beautiful moment of observation, of just aware of the fact that, oh, there's tingles that are just flowing up and down my leg now. And you're just feeling it. You're just aware of it. You're in that beautiful stillness of observation, like a spiritual scientist above, just observing. Being able to do it from a feel state just might be that intermediate way of helping you to switch your mind off of it. But just thought I'd pass that over just to see how that feels for you. And it's interesting that when the mind likes to take over all the time, there's something beautiful about just allowing ourselves to feel our environment with no judgment, no analysis. I'm just letting myself feel my environment, my inner world environment of my body, the external world around me. as if I'm just allowing myself to feel what the texture of the wall feels like, feel the solidness of things around us. And this gets us into a beautifully still state. And eventually we're not feeling anymore, we're not searching for stuff. We're just sitting in stillness.
My brain just won't shut the fuck up.
Ah,
I tried.
Should we do a little prayer, all of us? What do you think? We do a little prayer to
Anything. Yeah, anything.
Adam, what do you think about prayer to release all the control of the mind and to like a prayer we all say together to generate like a collective power for
potentially. I just want to just delve briefly there. At what point did your brain say, Merv, shut up?
No, it didn't tell me to shut up. I just said it won't shut the fuck up.
Ah,
My brain won't. Oh no. My brain didn't tell me. Yeah, no.
I was just wondering
My
whether your
brain
brain
won't
was
shut the fuck up. No.
the brain
Oh,
was going shut up, like you. So your brain was you can't shut the brain up.
yeah, even when I'm
Gotcha.
trying to feel it, I was so trying. I got tingling on my fingers and my palms, and I was feeling a sensation. I was feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but then for some weird,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I'm as you was mentioning, like you're feeling the texture of the wallpaper, or the wall.
Mm-hmm.
My brain was, I'll focus my brain on what it was picturing, feeling. Does that make sense? So my brain just wouldn't like,
Right. And was it
and then
slightly different before then? Before the feel the texture of? Because the only thing is that there's a subtle shift. I was just experimenting with you there
mhm.
to going from sensation of the body to an external awareness of. So if you were to be like just feeling the dimensions of the room, that's more like sifting into like spatial awareness. You're just aware of where things are in space and time, if you see what I mean. They're just around me.
Right.
That might be easier to keep you from going, oh, wait a minute, the wallpaper, oh, and then that has a color and it's got a pattern. What does that pattern mean or whatever? Being aware of
Well, it's kind of
space.
yeah. Um, when I get it. But when I don't, obviously I get frustrated. Um,
Well, it's
I
like a
think that's the
muscle.
frustration.
It's
Yeah.
just a muscle. Like when you
Mm.
first, it's a little bit like that process when you first start to meditate in any way. The brain wants to take control, and
Mhm.
like so when you first do a run, you can run for like a few moments and then you have to stop. And so if you're able to just do this a couple of times a day, and each time you're able to sit into it maybe 30 seconds longer before your brain kicks in, each second longer is just closer and closer to gaining that kind of mental emotional mastery. So
Mhm.
but I wouldn't judge yourself to be like, oh my god, I'm doing it again. But there would have been moments within both Ali's guide through and my version, and whatever works,
It
where
was.
you would have.
I felt something.
Yep.
I felt something, Adam. I felt something, Adam. Yeah, it was present, but then like, my brain just fuck. I don't know.
I think actually
I'm getting frustrated,
yeah.
obviously, because obviously it's all individual, yeah,
Mhm.
Mm.
and it's all like we have to find our own way ultimately. I get all that, and you two are really putting some fucking serious effort with me, and I fucking love you both to bits for that. But if obviously this is what's worrying me, if I can't do it this time round in this life, and obviously I've got to do it the next time. And that's probably obviously we can't have fear. There's so much fucking, but I think it's because my brain runs at the rates of fucking constant. And now this is what my soul chose. This is what this is my life. This is it was already been chose. So clearly your soul knew, and your soul knew we was gonna have this chat before even we did.
Yeah, exactly.
So this has all been planned out, but and
Actually, what do you?
I think it's just because I'm not possibly. I know it's irrelevant and it's not apparent to what we're doing because it shouldn't really matter. But we shouldn't give labels to things. I know, but let's just use it as an example because it's the only way I can explain it just right now. That just to give you quickly, before I was gonna go, I was in speaking to a woman who's she's a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but based on she was asking me because I was going to go for pre-surgery for bypass, to cut half your stomach off. I didn't go with that. I went with the carnivore. But previous to that, she asked me a question, and she was analysing me. Yeah, well, the way I was and this, right? But we had to stop because I think I went on a bit of a mad one in my head, so I had to stop. Said he wasn't blah blah blah. Kind of well enough to continue. But I digress. I'll get to the point. She couldn't discuss it further because of that. Because I don't know. She seems to says I have a super brain. Now I don't mean like a super brain as in Einstein. Okay, she means a super brain as in like super aware of things and this that, and the other. But my brain just goes computing so much fucking information. Like it's obviously clearly I've got a filter. Because obviously if you're consciously in everything, then you can't process all the information that's happening subconsciously, right? But if you knew, I'm not making any sense.
You are. You are.
So in moments like this, sometimes I'm fucking chilled and I can speak, I can be chilled, I'm all right. And then maybe it's the conditioning, maybe it's my I don't know if it's an issue where because I got tested for Down syndrome when I was younger. There's autism in the family. I'm just labeling it in a sense where I can explain it to you both. So I don't know if it's I just get in here, yeah. Even though I try, guys, I fucking try because there's moments where I can just be kind of we don't know. I mean, fucking define normal, but there's moments where I can be a bit, just chilled and normal, right? Then there's other times where it gets so thingy in here, even though I look kind of ish, kind of cool, calm and collected. Is obviously not now. I'm showing signs of a bit of erraticness, but I've never been expressing myself in a way, it's like a psychiatrist in the past, and they couldn't pinpoint it. They just said bipolar at first, and then psychomethemia, which is the emotional. Like you've done psychology yourself, right? So yeah. Ultimately, I thought it was more like a personality disorder, kind of that kind of realm, and low self-esteem issues. The further I've gone over in years, with it. But then obviously we said that's you're just matching people's energies. You're just kind of. in an empathic, spiritual way. But that aside, for a moment, my brain just fucking, I get frustrated in here. Even though I come across kind of normalish guys in there, I feel very, um, what's the word? I'm clever with some things, but obviously, other ways I'm not. Maybe I'm all. I don't know. I don't mildly some fucking spectrum-ish. I don't know. I've never known, but it gets like like when you see someone getting really frustrated, but I can do well with dealing with it ish on the outside. But someone who necessarily clearly they're Asperger's, clearly they're autistic. Some of them have to wear ear defenders. Certain noises, sensory fucking overload at me is fucking, but internally. Sometimes it comes to the front and I'm like, fucking, and I show it what I'm feeling inside, but not always. Maybe I can just cover it up better than others. But sometimes in here, it's just, I can't make sense of what the fuck's going on in there. Just like, oh, even though I'm only just scratching the surface just with me explaining it now.
Mhm.
So this is the reason why, you know, I, you see me kind of struggling, yeah. And I probably just come around the fucking houses. Probably you both fucking sensed it anyway. I go around the houses with stuff, but that's just me kind of giving you like I am here because it's important to me. I'm not just taking a Michael, I'm not taking a piss or anything. It's just, I have to get that across to you because kind of like from my background or whatever, I'm not necessarily. I don't fucking know. I'm just chatting shit now.
Merv, it was
Can you
beautiful.
just someone just take over? Fucking
If
hell.
a few things
Fuck's sake.
a few things I picked up on, because
Mm,
again, it's beautiful that you did speak out, because that's when we can hear the patterns. And I think the pattern I picked up on was one of the pattern was you feel frustrated, but that's not the issue. The issue is that you fight the frustration because again, the surrender and acceptance and feeling that frustration. And you're not trying to like figure everything out in your head, because that
no.
is the desire to know the solution to everything, and fighting the frustration, fighting the uncomfortable feelings, and fighting your thoughts, because some spiritual teachers may have told you that thoughts, you're not supposed to have a thought. And I think that's a misleading teaching, because thoughts are beautiful. If you have a thought of frustration and you say to yourself, oh, I'm frustrated, I don't know what to do, and you are frustrated at the frustration, and it's like a vicious cycle. I think all your thoughts are telling you, they're saying we need your love. Like imagine your thoughts. It's like this being. There's like a baby, and it just needs love and attention. And there's nothing you can do to just silence it at this stage, other than just be lovingly, like take a loving approach to your thoughts. When you have a thought of frustration, speak to that thought like a child with love. Okay, I see you frustrated. I love you. I understand you. I know where you're coming from. And then lovingly let it go and lovingly say, "Oh, after you feel the frustration, you can say to the frustration, I'm now ready to release you with love." But at no stage you're straining yourself. At no stage you are fighting with it. And that goes with what Adam was saying about just feeling it, because these were really two different approaches of going to your being as the presence of awareness, and also going to the feeling, and they both arrive at the same place. And sometimes, because the focus is too much in the head, because we are a society of just head focused consciousness, So oftentimes, if you use your hands and you just bring your hands to your body and you just feel your hands, you bring your focus to your hands. Because
Oh, now.
oftentimes, yeah, you bring your focus to your hands and you place your hands on your body, right? And you just remain with your hands. And that may help you bring the attention out of the head to the body, because oftentimes it's hard to just bring your awareness to your body when the attention just is really in the head, even though you're trying, it's not coming to the body. And sometimes it's good to come to your hands and come to the breath. So follow the breath and bring your attention to your hands, just because, yeah, conditioning, lifetime of being in the head, and you're not alone. I was the same. Lifetime of being in the head, we're not taught to feel. So really using your body, like hugging yourself, or like just being with the sensations of the touch, of the feeling of your hands on your body, and maybe like press your body, just feel your body. If you can't feel it first, press it a little bit.
I think I do that anyway. I'm aware of how, not just I explain it, but I think I do that anyway. Just sometimes when I comfort myself anyhow, and of how bringing you. I can't explain it. Go on. Sorry, please continue.
No, I fully feel what you're saying. Yeah, but bringing more awareness to the sensations, like feeling your hands.
Oh yeah. Sometimes that's the only thing I concentrate on.
Yeah.
When if I'm not stroking my arm or this, that, and the other, I do bring my attention to that sometimes because it calms me down of whatever I'm going in my head anyway. But as I say, I'm aware of whatever I'm feeling. That feels nice. Or do you get what I mean? I think I hope what I'm coming across. I don't know.
There's something that I think might help with this process actually. And there's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, is there is a feeling of needing to be on catch up that I've noticed. Like you feel like you're behind, and that needs become aware of that. You're exactly where you need to be, and there's no target you need to attain. So you don't need to grasp it and master it the moment that it's occurring. And having love, as Ali's mentioned, having love and respect for that. And there's often a narrative. What I would imagine, again, I'm just going to imagine, and let me know if I'm in the right tracks of what might go through the mind. Like, let's just say me or Ali are going through a process of just be aware of your hands, be aware of the moment, be aware of awareness. And you'll be going, right, I'm aware of my hands. And then your brain might be go, what the fuck is that over there? Is my knuckle a bit weird? Oh shit, I shouldn't be thinking that. Oh, fuck's sake, what am I doing now? Why am I thinking of this? Oh, I shouldn't be doing that. Wait a minute, back to this. Wait a minute, focus. Oh, now my elbow's a bit fucking funny. Oh, no, I need to focus it. What the fuck? That
constantly,
that process, right? Constant inner narrative. But what's going on there is that there is the constant judgment of your thoughts. I'm having a thought. I shouldn't be. I'm having a thought. I shouldn't. Yeah. The judgment and the narrative surrounding thought. And if you can get used to knowing that the monkey brain will fire thoughts up every now and then when you're feeling your knuckle, you will have a thought of, my knuckle feels a little bit weird, and it will say something. And if you can allow that to pass rather than making judgment and narrative and judging yourself for having that thought, it will come in and it will just pass. In your head, you might hear the Kaiser Chiefs going on, and it will just go on.
It's still going.
It's still going. But if it is, don't worry about it. Allow it to just go on.
Yeah.
And what will happen if you've got that? And what we've got here is the myelin in your brain. The nerve patterns are just used to firing all the time, and they will do, right? And the moment that you're trying to get them, and that's efficient for your brain, right? So when your brain creates neural pathways, it creates this thing called myelin around the outside that makes them extremely efficient. So your brain is running its most efficient program to think constantly because it's efficient. Trying to get it to not run that program of efficiency is fucking stressful as fuck to your brain. So it's trying to do it and it's going, go back to the efficiency paradigm. And it's trying to do it every single time. And that will be stressful.
Mhm.
But eventually, much like walking like shoes in the snow, the more and more you walk the same path, eventually you'll acknowledge that it will be frustrating. And if you can become aware that the brain's going to do that, don't judge yourself for it, don't attack yourself for it. You're not trying to be anywhere. And there's one thing I also observed is that there's a lot of responsibility that's on your shoulders that I do feel I want you to be aware of, because that's a belief system. Like the idea that if I don't do this now, I'll have to do it another lifetime. That's a fuck ton of responsibility you're placing on yourself, right? It's not like, I would say that thought might not be serving you very well because it's putting so much pressure on. I've got to fucking nail this in this lifetime.
That's another should statement. Like I should be attaining my enlightenment, or I should be free of suffering.
The thing is, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I mean, I can't go back. I'm here now. I'm on it, and I don't want to go back because
Go back where?
to what everyone else is up to. Do
Okay.
you get what I mean?
So
It's
is it a fear of failure, a fear of losing?
not that. I don't want to repeat another 34 years doing the previous. I can't go back there. Can't go back there. So this is the only thing. This is the only. The I know it. I know it. You know, everything else is false. It's all fucking make believe. It's shite. Human beings just being fed tablets. There you go. Go to the supermarket, eat more shit. We'll give you more fucking tablets. There you go. Go to the doctors. Mm-hmm. You know, all for the fucking shite they fucking go. I'm like, no. And then it's just everything else and just like, no, no.
No, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I want to.
It's not just that, it's just everything else. It's fucked, isn't it? Just everything's just fucked. Like proper fucked. And I was in Morrison's yesterday. And I'm like, oh, God. And it feels like we're in a fucking matrix. I'm like, that fuck, you know, it's like, oh my God, just everything's just fucked. And I just want to get home. Everything's just fucked and I want to get home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling myself, everything's just fucked and I want to get home. I'm gonna shut that door. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So yeah, I don't want to be engaging with. I can't even speak to folk anyway. When I'm out and about. I was like, yeah. And they must look at me as if like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? But I was just couldn't. I was like, I don't really want to speak to you. You're just talking about shit on the news. I don't want to know about the fucking news. There's things like that. Like fucking Stormy Daniels and fucking Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. Just do you know what I mean? Like fuck off, mate. Just fucking shit. Just absolute shit.
Can I suggest something, Merv?
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
So this is said in the most loving way. So in the same way that you're trying to push your thoughts away, or fighting your thoughts, you're trying to push people away and fighting them.
Not
And that
necessarily. I just don't want to. I just like I know everybody's fucked. That it's like I don't think some of them do, and I'm just like, I just want to tell them. Just want to tell them everything's just fucked. Everything's just fucked at the minute in the world. I mean, we're actually, have you seen it? You know, we're actually at war with Russia now, apparently, and it's going to be made known in August. So if that's triggered any of you, but that's what's apparently, and that's not the main issue. I mean, do you know what I mean? Because it's just I don't know. I just don't want to go back. I just don't want to go back to. Just
Are you like open to the idea that the conflict that is within our mind causes the conflict in the world? Like the inner world rules the outer world?
oh, I think I know what you mean. I think I do. So whatever we're thinking, kind of manifest outside, and where we're thinking becomes our reality. That what you mean?
Yeah, how we whatever our inner landscape is, whatever state of mind we have, like if we are in a state of like judging our thoughts and judging ourselves and being in
Mm.
conflict with ourselves, then we will see conflict around us. So the world we see around us is just really a reflection of
Of
our
what we,
mental, emotional, and belief states. So that's what
yeah,
I
yeah,
was touching a sensitive area. I was saying because I've been there where I go into the street and I'm aware of continuously judging people, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, okay, they're always on their phones. All they care about is shopping
yeah.
and going to McDonald's. And that, even though it's true, I'm still judging them. Unconsciously,
I don't
I'm
mean to. It's
criticizing.
like an ego trap or something, isn't it?
Exactly.
I don't mean
It's
to.
it's not you, but it's an unconscious pattern of judgment that just runs
I
in the
don't know if it's
background.
coming from that. I think it's just because I realise everything's just fucked, and I just want to just like, just I don't know,
What gave you that
like
realization that everything is fucked?
because the way I see stuff and like you know, there's just that much going on in the world. It is just fucked, isn't it? Like I'm on about
Mhm.
tinfoil that stuff
Mhm.
here now. Like like
Mhm.
like it's just that I just I don't want to know anything about anything. I don't want to hang around with. I don't know. It's just fucking a bit bad at the minute. Like I don't want to go hanging around with kind of my old brownies. They just drink. Some of them are sound, they're all right, yeah. They don't do any cocaine or anything.
No, a
Um,
statement that's just coming to me that I think I need to say is this is whatever we fear and whatever we judge, we will manifest in our life. Now, have a deep think about this, Merv, because I know exactly where you are. I've been there, and I had friends who were drinking, and I judged them unconsciously or consciously, or whatever. As you said, it's not really you, but it's the minds just
mm,
criticizing or judging them or seeing them as somehow less than you are, or like you are more virtuous than they are. And when you're on a spiritual journey, that is a very common pitfall. And all I want you to
mm,
do is just be aware of these subtle sensations of criticism, judgment, seeing others as
yeah,
not following the path, and whatever you judge, you manifest in the world. So even if you're right about them not following the light, this the
well,
feeling of
it's not.
judgment, yeah,
It is partly that, but it's more of a case of like if I if I I'll end up staying in the same cycle. It's more for my benefit than necessarily judging them. I'm just describing that, even though it comes across as judging, but as I say, it's fucked and they're there drinking this that, and other. If I if I continue kind of with them, you know, then I won't I won't grow as a person. I won't grow as an
yeah,
individual.
yes,
The human experience, yeah.
yeah.
I won't do that. It's a blessing in it for me to like, just have you two just to yeah.
See,
Take your time. It's not a race. Like we're not competing to get to enlightenment or something like that, the
Yeah.
the present
Oh,
moment, or like being in the present, like right now, is where we need to be. We don't need to like look for this amazing experience one day we're gonna have of being enlightened and everything is being perfect, because the
yeah,
presence right now that is again all around us, within us, in we are the presence, is already enlightened.
yeah.
Just need to we just need to recognize it, feel it, and be
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
I love
I,
it. They say
yeah.
God is closer
No,
to
you're
you.
right.
They
Yeah.
say God is closer to you than the vein on your neck. And the only thing really closer to the vein on your neck, I really think is your own awareness. That is
Mm.
simply watching and is aware of all of your experiences, and it's just aware, it doesn't change, doesn't change. And we miss this awareness. We miss it. And we identify too much with the body mind, And as Adam
Yeah.
beautifully said, feeling is really good. Feeling the body is really good, but also stepping out of the body, just being aware and just resting and being. These are two different approaches that actually they work together. So if you struggle, maybe go through your body first. Then once you get to stillness, then just be. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you have to do, nothing you have to achieve. Just pure, easy, friendly, ordinary being. Nothing exotic, nothing crazy, nothing like, oh, some enlightened, some sensation is gonna come and I'm gonna get zapped out into heaven. Nothing like that. Just simple, pure, ordinary beings. If it's our true nature, it's going to be ordinary, and people are looking for extraordinary phenomena, and that's why they miss it, because they want something more. Yeah. So I just wanted to encourage you, like you're doing really good. It's not, don't put an expectation on yourself, like right now to do everything. It's you already have now the stimulations within you to trigger within you certain changes. Just stay with it. Just be present with it. Just ask a question, love it, be with it. Whatever changes is occurring, just be patient with it. You don't need to become enlightened tomorrow. There's no pressure.